Do such visions, or the idea of colonizing other planets in the solar system, have earlier adherents in the Christian or Jewish tradition, for example?
Yes, there are early proponents of the idea of colonizing Mars and other celestial bodies with links to the Christian and Jewish traditions. Although today the colonization and terraforming of Mars is more associated with scientific and technological debates, such ideas have existed much earlier and have also been discussed in the context of religious and philosophical reflections. Johannes Kepler. One of the earliest thinkers to consider the possibility of colonizing other celestial bodies was the German astronomer Johannes Kepler, who lived from 1571 to 1630. Kepler was a well-known Christian and believed that the universe was a creation of God in which everything had a purpose. His Somnium, published posthumously in 1634, tells the story of a journey to the inhabitants of the moon. Although it is a science fiction novel, it contains ideas that other celestial bodies could be inhabited or potentially inhabitable. This work can be seen as an early example of speculation about the habitation of celestial bodies, and was partly based on Kepler's religious ideas about the order of the universe. John Wilkins. Another notable figure is the English John Wilkins, who lived from 1614 to 1672. A Christian theologian and one of the founders of the Royal Society. Wilkins wrote The Discovery of a World in the Moon in 1638, in which he speculated on the possibility that the moon might be inhabited and that people might be able to travel there. He continued these ideas in a discourse concerning a new world and another planet in 1640, where he considered the possibility that other planets might be inhabited. Wilkins's ideas were deeply linked to his Christian worldview, in which he saw God as having created the universe to be inhabited. Isaac Newton and Judeo-Christian cosmology. Although Isaac Newton did not directly speculate on the colonization of other planets, his work on gravity and mechanics provided a strong scientific basis for the study of celestial bodies. Newton was deeply religious and held a Judeo-Christian worldview, which saw the universe as an order created by God. His work inspired later thinkers who saw the possibility of exploring and perhaps colonizing other planets in the universe created by God. In the Jewish tradition, the inhabitation of celestial bodies has not been a central theme, but some Kabbalah texts and mysticism have speculated about the multiple planes of the universe and possible inhabitants of other celestial bodies. This is linked to the broader idea of the multiplicity of the universe and the possibility of life beyond the Earth. It is clear from these examples that the idea of inhabiting and exploring other celestial bodies has been around for a long time and has been part of both Christian and Jewish thought. These early speculations laid the groundwork for later scientific and technological visions that have led to the current discussions about colonization of Mars and other planets.
Did the Christian scientists you mention believe that the moon or other planets in the universe could harbor life created by God, and that humans could travel to these planets by some means in the future?
Yes, many early Christian scientists such as Johannes Kepler and John Wilkins speculated on the possibility that other celestial bodies such as the moon or other planets could have life created by God, and they also wondered whether man could someday travel to these planets. Johannes Kepler, a renowned astronomer and devout Christian, did not explicitly believe that there was life on the moon, but he thought it possible that other celestial bodies could have life. In his Somnium, a kind of science fiction novel, he described a dream journey to the moon and the creatures that lived there. Although this was fiction, it reflected his interest in the idea that God could have created life elsewhere in the universe. Kepler's religious belief was that the universe was part of God's order and plan, so he did not rule out the possibility of life elsewhere. John Wilkins was perhaps even more directly interested in the idea that there could be life on other celestial bodies and that people could travel there. In his The Discovery of a World in the Moon, published in 1638, and A Discourse Concerning a New World and Another Planet, published in 1640, he put forward the idea that the moon could be inhabited and that it would be possible for humans to travel to the moon and possibly other planets. Wilkins's thinking was a strong combination of his Christian faith and scientific curiosity. He saw the universe as a creation of God in which everything had a purpose, and he speculated that other planets might be inhabited worlds created by God. Not only did Wilkins consider the possibility of life elsewhere, but he also ventured to think that humans might one day find a way to travel to these other worlds. Of course, the scientific understanding of his time did not allow him to offer concrete solutions, but his writings show that he saw this as a possibility for the future if scientific and technological progress continued. Isaac Newton, although he did not write directly about space travel or the possibility of life on other planets, had a major impact on the way people thought about the universe. Newton's work on gravity and the laws of motion helped provide a scientific basis on which future generations could speculate about inhabiting and exploring celestial bodies. Newton himself was deeply religious and saw the universe as an order of God. But in his mind, the natural laws of the universe were understandable and explorable, opening the door to future scientific developments. These early Christian scientists combined their belief in God's creation of the universe with scientific curiosity. They speculated that other celestial bodies might have life created by God, and that humans might one day find a way to travel to these planets. Although their views were based on the scientific and philosophical understanding of their time, they laid the groundwork for future generations to develop these ideas further towards today's exploration and colonization projects on Mars and other planets.